For more and more couples who split, it's about getting past the hurt and putting the best interests of the kids first. And besides, you were friends once. Can't you be again? Joining us now with their stories. Here's Kate Cochran, journalist and author of Reconcilable Differences. Brandy Weikley, longtime parenting editor, founder of thenewfamily.com. Tracy Germa, who says she is amicably divorced. And Keir Brownstone, also, he tells us, amicably divorced. It's so nice to hear a few positive stories about divorce here, since we hear lots of the rest. So let's see how this all worked out. Kate, I want to start with you.
Okay.
You got married when?
I got married about 15 years ago.
15 years ago?
Yeah.
How long did it last?
No, we were together for 20 years and it lasted 15. And we split up some years ago. So.
And how many years ago did you split up?
About 8.
Did you have kids?
I have 2 grown children, 23-year-old daughter and a 27-year-old son.
Okay, and how would you describe your relationship with your ex at the moment?
It's very good. We're good friends.
Good friends to this day?
Yeah. And we're co-parents, so we work at being good co-parents as well, but we're friends.
Okay. Brandy, coming over to you now. You got married when?
About 18 years ago.
Okay, and the marriage lasted how long?
About 11 years by the time we separated.
Okay, and do you have kids?
I do. I've got 2 boys now, 12 and 8.
12 and 8. And how would you describe your relationship with your ex?
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yes.
What makes it excellent?
Well, we're incredibly amicable, and we still enjoy speaking to one another about the children. We still enjoy that experience together, and there's a basis of friendship that we can draw upon. It's pretty cooperative.
Can I ask a really dumb question?
Yeah.
If everybody's getting along so well with their exes, why aren't you still married?
Well, because, I don't know, I guess we were young and I was 23 when we got married, and I think it's a bit of a miracle when you keep on wanting that same thing, the same sort of things for a long, long time. And when you think about it, marriage, when we started saying to death do you part, people were only living till their 40s. So, you know, things can change over that time.
Gotcha. Tracy,
yeah.
Your situation. You're a high school teacher.
Yes.
In Peterborough.
Yes.
Okay. How long ago were you married?
17 years ago.
And it lasted how long?
About 2 years, so not long.
2 years?
Not long. Long enough to have a baby.
No kid. Long enough to have a kid?
Yeah.
Okay, so the kid is how old now?
She's 15.
15. All right, and describe the nature of the relationship with you and your ex today?
Still very friendly and very loving still. You know, if we need something from one another, it's still there. We loved each other at one point. We still have a solid, solid friendship.
Actually, we can go further than that, right? Because you have a bit of an unusual situation with your ex.
We do. We have vacationed together in the past. I've been married and divorced twice, both amicably, but that one with both sets of families, vacationed together twice, and we spent many Christmas mornings together as a family. It made the most sense to all of us, and we continue to get together. Not as much now that she's 15. My daughter would rather be off with her friends than with any of us, so
right.
Yeah, but it's still good.
Where do you work?
Both my ex and I work for the same teachers union. We're not in the same office, but we do often attend events together.
Okay. You don't teach at the same school?
We did. And for the first few years of the divorce, we did. And it was very, very strange for our colleagues, not for us.
Not for you?
No.
Interesting.
We lived very close together, made it easy. We still could carpool.
Okay. All right, Keir. Men are allowed to speak on this program. Here we go.
Okay.
You got married how long ago?
I think I'm the elder statesperson here. It was 30 years ago.
And it lasted how long?
Just over 12 years.
Kids?
3.
3 kids? Mm-hmm. Fabulous. How old are they now?
Gee, 34, 30, and 25.
You were young when you guys got started.
Not necessarily.
Or you're just looking very well preserved for a man of your age.
Thank you.
Okay. The nature of your relationship with your ex today is?
It's very friendly. We see each other family occasions and get along pretty fabulously.
You get along pretty fabulously.
Mm-hmm.
How many years after being divorced?
Well,
You split up what year?
It's been 17 or 18 years now. So
Since you split up?
yeah.
And you're
So it wasn't always, you know, amicable and wonderful, but for the most part, I guess the important thing for us is that we still have love for each other. I don't think that goes away.
Because she's the mother of your children? Or beyond that?
Beyond that.
Huh. Okay. let's get into some discussion here about when each of you split up, you all had to make decisions, you and your exes had to make decisions about living arrangements. And I want to get a better understanding of how that worked. So you had a couple of young kids at the time that you split up. How did you and your ex decide to work all that out?
Well, we had, and actually my math was off when you asked me that. It was about 30 years ago when we got together. But we knew that we both wanted to co-parent actively our children, and neither of us wanted to take our kids away from the other. So we spent about a year in our house, which we thought might be big enough to divide in half. We spent a year talking about it and talking to an architect friend who did drawings for us. And eventually we ended up agreeing that we would stay close enough that we bought a bigger house together, and he lived upstairs and I lived downstairs. And we did that for about 8 years, so that the kids could come into the house, and then if they went upstairs to my ex-husband's apartment, my son had his bedroom there and my daughter had a bedroom in my apartment. So they were within the same house. And it was through the year of talking it through, and however one does it, we were able to do it living in the same house and kind of
Didn't
be
need
mindful.
mediators to do that?
No.
You just did it yourself?
We never saw a mediator or a lawyer until we needed to finally get the final divorce papers, which we did with a guy on St. Clair and Avenue who basically stamped them and said, I'm sending them off to the court for you. We were really lucky that way, but we talked through, we did all the work that one has to do to get a separation agreement without actually needing to have a piece of paper.
What did because surely your kids had friends in their school who didn't have quite so nice a divorce, and they were having, so what did your kids make of your situation where you two were still actually living under the same roof?
Well, you know, I think the funny thing is the kids just accepted that it was what it was, and they believed us when we said what parents say to kids and often don't do, which is, we're not going to fight with each other, we're going to take care of you guys. Our focus is you and your safety and well-being, and we are a family. And I remember once when my son was a teenager, we were in the upstairs-downstairs arrangement, he wanted to pull the wool over one of our eyes. And so I called my ex and said, I think we need to talk to Jake. And we met on the stairs between his apartment and mine, and Jake had to sit on the stairs with us. And I both remember with great fondness the look on his face of, oh man, I can't even use this against you.
Can't play one off against the other.
I can't win. So it was normal to them, and I think they know now, and they knew then that there were people who saw it as odd. They certainly heard people telling us it was odd, but they also knew that it wasn't. That it was a family that was reconfiguring itself into a more manageable form for us.
And that's their normal.
Yeah, and you know, when you ask about why do people break up but get along well, sometimes you just realize you're married to the wrong person. And so, but you've had kids together. So you have to rethink it, and some people don't. Some people go on and hate each other, but you don't have to. You can rebuild.
Brandy, what did you and your ex decide to do once you realized your marriage was over?
Well, for the first year, he moved into the basement apartment of the house that we owned together, but that was only going to work for a little while. We needed to get him above ground again. And we actually had the opportunity for him to move in next door. So 7 years later, I guess it's maybe 6 years later now since he's moved there, he has lived across a mutual driveway from me, and he has since remarried, and we've kept on with that living arrangement.
And the kids do what?
They go back and forth, they alternate between us in a much more, we have them kind of alternate nights, which would be way too much if you were driving across town, but it's all they know, being able to have that kind of easy access to both of us. So they usually see both of us over a 24-hour period because they're coming and going so easily to and from school. I'll walk them to school in the morning. They've been at their dad's. The basketball hoop in the middle of the driveway is sort of the central nervous system of our household, and so it's easy to just look out the kitchen window and see what they're up to, and it's also really great if you want to be lazy about packing and organizing. If something is forgotten, it's just a text message away and it can be delivered to the other porch. So. And
you say he's remarried?
He is.
Have you remarried?
I haven't.
Got somebody else in your life?
Mostly just dating.
Mostly okay, so.
Yeah.
How do I put this delicately? No issues with the second wife?
No, I know it seems, it's certainly not for everybody, but neither of us had anybody in our lives right away, and I think that's part of it. And we were both sensitive people. I think if somebody was showing off their new person, was being very obvious about it, maybe it would be more difficult, but we didn't bear a lot of animosity toward one another. when he was getting remarried, we all three of us, gave it some real thought as to whether we thought the arrangement should continue, and we ended up deciding that the convenience and the continuity for the kids all outweighed the little bit of discomfort we might have from me being nearby them during their newlywed stages.
And his second wife is not threatened by the fact that you're right there.
She doesn't seem to be. We hang out together on Halloween, handing out the candy, and we gather for some Sunday dinners, and it's a real collaborative effort, and she's been a great addition to the family, frankly.
People, this program brought to you tonight by Walt Disney. Okay, great. Okay, Tracy, how's it working for you?
Really, really well still.
How did you decide, who was going to live where and where the kid was going to go and all of that business?
For the first few months, we just separated bedrooms, and that worked fine. My daughter was so young that she didn't really know what was going on. And then my ex had the chance to buy a house just around the block in Peterborough, so did. And so for her, it was fabulous. She could, from an early age, walk from mummies to daddies, and I'd be on the phone, and he'd be on his phone, peeking around. Oh, she's in my view. Okay, now she's in my view. So she got to grow up sort of knowing that both houses were very much equal, and she's always sort of chosen. The three of us have worked together with the schedule, made it very easy. It's very flexible, very similar to Brandy's of the couple nights here, one night there, and rather than here's your 2 weeks, here's your 2 weeks.
Right. And she's 15 now, so she can decide who she wants to go to.
She does. There are the nights where we'll say, well, I know I have a meeting and he does not, so we'll prefer to do it that way. But then she'll say, oh, I really just want to be in this bedroom tonight, or I have volleyball practice or whatever, rugby practice, and she needs to get to our house, my house, so she'll stay at the closer place, and it works.
It does work.
It really does.
Why do you think it works? Like, why hasn't it gone off the rails at any point?
Because I think we stayed friends. We got out of things before we hated each other. And yeah, there's always the tension. That's why it ends. But we said, let's get out of this before it gets really nasty. And it was a commitment, and we both had new partners who also were willing to, like your situation, Brandy, to take on. That's a lot to ask somebody else to take on. And in both our cases, they did. And it took negotiating, but it was all amicable negotiating.
Okay. Keir, you mentioned off the top that it wasn't instantly amicable, but it's gotten there. So when your marriage ended, how did you make the decisions, you and your ex, about where kids were going to go? Three little kids at the time, eh?
Yeah, it was, the decision, I think we always more or less agreed that it would be shared custody, so that wasn't really a dispute, aside from, an occasional bit of nastiness here and there. But we did have a bit of a complicated situation in that my son was actually my son by marriage, so he had another dad. My ex-wife had been married before.
You inherited one.
So I inherited one,
Gotcha.
but when he was one. So we'd been together for most of his life as well. But anyways, he already had 2 houses to go back and forth with. So that complicated things.
Because now he's got sort of he's got 4, I guess, potential homes.
Yeah, 3. But he's, now 4, he's got his own.
Okay.
He's the eldest. But yeah, so my 2 daughters divided their time evenly between the houses, and it was really just a matter of, is it going to be 1 week on, 1 week, 2 weeks off, and really we engaged them almost from the beginning in the decision making, so that they were part of that. How long would you like to be, and we lived pretty close together, so it wasn't so bad.
And what made it work?
I think we made it work by putting them first, and that was the most important thing. No matter what our disagreements may have been, that the children's well-being and happiness was first and foremost. So I don't think there was ever any disagreement about that. We may have disagreed about flu shots and what after-school classes to take and things like that from time to time. But generally speaking, that was really the cornerstone of our relationship in terms of how we determined scheduling and things like that. And we celebrated a lot of things together.
A lot of the holidays and things.
Holidays and birthdays, and I'm actually come from several generations of divided families, so I had experience with this with myself and my parents, who were separated and then divorced. My kids at first I would hold 2 birthday parties, one for each parent. And my kids finally said, like, how come Bubby and Zeta don't come to the parties together? And so we did, finally said, it's only going to be one. You can both come or not. It's up to you. And everybody ended up coming.
What year did your parents marry?
Marry?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because I'm just thinking, for your parents to have been divorced would have been highly unusual at the time, no?
Yeah, they'd been married for 32 years when they got divorced. So yeah.
Wow.
For a while.
All right. Now, again, if this is too personal, just tell me to bug off, okay? But since you inherited one child and then had 2 of your own with your ex, how much was the child that you inherited part of your going forward? Because I guess technically, once you divorce, I mean, you're not the biological father of that child, so your claim is less on that child? Am I sort of saying this right, or help me out here?
No, that's okay. He was entirely and 100% part of the package. I've never called him my stepson, and he's never called me anything other than Dad.
Got it.
So that's a very solid relationship that that managed to withstand all of the ups and downs and ins and outs. I mean, it was very complicated, and we did have. I don't think divided loyalties, but we both had to make decisions about how we were going to lead our lives, and I think I don't think we could be closer. So I think the proof is in the pudding.
Got it. Let's talk about the legalities here. You've already told us that you basically worked it all out yourself. You got the rubber stamp at the end of the day, and you were good to go. So congratulations, you didn't spend $100,000 to get divorced.
We did not, that's
well
true.
done, well done. Okay, Brandy, let me sort of figure out how you guys negotiated all the legalities around splitting up. What'd you do?
Right. Well, we actually had our own ad hoc arrangement for a good deal of time, just like Kate. So by the time we did get in front of a mediator years later, just kind of out of having not gotten around to the paperwork aspects of things, we already had a very clear parenting plan that was working and that was well established. So it didn't take us much time at all. We were with a mediator who was great. And partway through, she said, I'm actually lowering my fee because this is one of the easier arrangements I've ever had to work on, and I feel like it's going to take me less time. So that's how we did it. And then, of course, if you go through mediation, at the very end, you do have to have your own separate counsel. Just look over the papers to make sure that everything looks fine and each individual party is taken care of. But it was really more of a paperwork issue than any sort of difficult emotional terrain in terms of coming to an agreement about how we'd share the kids. We both wanted a good deal of flexibility and access to them.
And didn't take a ton of time to work it all out?
No, I think we had 2 appointments or something like that.
2 appointments and you were good to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Tracy?
Carbon copy answer, really. 2 appointments with the mediator, and it was easy. And the hardest part for us was realizing that there were more things to think about than we realized. Things like, what about if one of us earns more in the future, and those kind of questions. But we just said, let it all go. We're happy. Make it all about our daughter. And we were done and signed, sealed, and delivered and moved on.
Kier?
Wow, that's lucky. We both lawyered up. And there was some initial, kind of nastiness and sparring and letters back and forth and things like that.
For how long?
Well, for a few months anyways. And at one point, my lawyer, who was a really nice guy, said, look, do you want to talk to a nasty lawyer? And I said, sure. And I went and met, and the nasty lawyer said, oh, we'll rake her over the coals, and we'll play tough, and we'll get in there. And I as soon as I walked out the door, I knew what I was going to do. And I think really most people, and I don't know that they're told this, but there is a choice, and the choice is you can either go kicking and screaming and drag your kids into court and do all kinds of horrible stuff, or you can say, here's what the law provides. You get this and you get that, and if you play nicely and have shared custody of your kids, then that's the way it goes.
But it does take both sides to want to do that, right? If one side wants to hire a shark and the other side wants to hire a nice go-along to get along,
but
it's not going to work.
Yeah, but I think at least one person at some, if when you're both on opposite sides, I think it's probably rare that both people at the same time go, let's try something different. So anyways, at the end of the day, we went with what is the law does provide in terms of dividing equal assets and blah, blah, blah. And it was fine. And at the end of the day, it happened fairly quickly. And I think we were both able to leave that behind, and it didn't become part of our go-forward relationship.
Let me do a follow-up, because you said when you went to see the shark lawyer, you walked out of there and you said, I knew what I needed to do. And I presume not hire that person.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion you
absolutely.
came to.
Yeah, and not only because of that it was going to be longer, dragged out, but it was also pretty evident that if you go the nasty route, you are never going to be able to leave the children out of that discussion.
And you clearly did not want that.
No.
And how long before you and she sort of managed to, did you eventually use the lawyers to get to the finish line, or did you go some other direction?
No, we did. Yeah.
You did.
And it was pretty quick and painless. I think I got something in the mail one day, and the proceedings began almost exactly a year after our separation. And I think we were both in other relationships at that point, and that may have had something to do with it.
This may be difficult to answer, but let me try anyway. If all of your exes were at this table as well, would they be describing all of what we have been talking about in the same glorious tones? Kate.
Well, I hope so, but I think, one of the things I've learned, and since I wrote the book, with the families that were included in the book, is that these arrangements are organic, just like every family. So things change over time, and different people come into the mix, and sometimes it's not as easy as it might be just with the one-on-one relationship with the two people. I mean, everyone here has had great luck. So I think there are two sides to the story, and it is a negotiated agreement. And it's so, I don't know if he would use the same tones, but I think we were on the same page. But I don't think, lest it seems like we're all from Pollyanna land, it's not easy, and it takes a lot of ongoing work, and to be honest. And sometimes things can change in a way that makes it way harder when you thought it was all fixed.
Do you fight still?
No, we don't fight.
You don't
we
fight.
decided not to fight. We have to work things through, and we've had to work through some tough stuff, and so it's been challenging.
Again, if you don't want to say, don't say, but if you can give us an example, that's great.
Well, if someone new comes into the mix, he and I have had many folks come in and out of our lives since we split, and almost every time it was fine. We had good intentions, each of us, he and I. But some people find it threatening, and it's really true that they do find it threatening. You come into an arrangement like we had, an upstairs, downstairs, which is, how do you fit into that?
That's even worse than her next door.
It was really close, and
Yeah.
it can be
Worse,
complicated.
better, but you know what I mean.
It was
complicated.
Yeah, and so there have been moments where people have come into the mix where it's required some real thinking and taking a deep breath. So I would hate for people to think, oh well, these are a bunch of weirdos who are all great friends, because it does take a lot of work. And
You find that too?
Yeah, I think to your point about being Pollyanna, it's just because we have been able to come to these arrangements doesn't mean that we weren't in the same kind of total agony at the beginning, at the thought that the marriage is over. I mean, nobody goes into a marriage expecting to need two roofs over your house, two roofs over your heads. And I think there's a lot of pain around the idea of putting your children through that, especially if your own parents were not so amicably divorced. So definitely, there's some rocky emotional terrain to get over to get there.
But if your ex were sitting at this table, would he describe basically what you've been through over the last many years in the same way, do you think?
He would. He was invited on the show. He's out of town today. He wanted to be here. I think he would. We're both very keen and happy with our circumstances.
Do you ever fight anymore?
We do have the odd squabble. Remember last summer where the pressure was on us for taking the kids to summer camp, and I had overlooked that he was going to be away for a few days, and we were like, really? We were just under that kind of pressure, trying to get work done. But we get over it quickly if that does happen.
Tracy, if your ex were at this table, how would he be describing things?
He too was going to be here and is out of town, and yeah, he would certainly say that we've worked hard at it. We've, as Kate said, had the ups and downs. We do fight for sure.
You still fight?
We'll fight on text, but it's not it's not the fighting it was. Now it's just, a couple of words and then, oh, wait a second, I'm not going to go there. I do care. Let's fix this. And we get there. And for sure, new people in our lives absolutely complicates things. It brings the ups and downs, but in the end, we have one goal, and that's our daughter. And we should have started a business together. Instead, we started a family. And we have to remember that that comes with responsibilities, right? So.
Well, I was going to ask you, because I think you did start a business. You and your wife, you and your ex were in business together.
We were in business together as well, yeah.
What was the business?
We had a manufacturing, retail, it was a Robin K clothing.
And when you divorced, could you still be in business together?
No. I had the interesting change of life at one singular moment where I left my marriage, my home, and my business all at the same time. So
That's disruptive.
it was quite disruptive.
That's very different.
Yeah.
And how about today? If she were at this table, would she be describing things the same way?
Well, first of all, she's going to be extremely disappointed that she wasn't invited on the show. So, yeah, I think more or less, and it's not from a Pollyanna standpoint, because there is a lot of pain and suffering, no matter what. I don't believe that there's any relationship where people have taken the step through love to marry and then separate, and it's all fabulous. There's a lot of pain involved. So, but otherwise, I mean, in terms of the evolution, absolutely. I mean, I'm in an interesting situation because I also have a girlfriend of 16 years, and we have an interesting relationship because we live like a couple blocks away from each other. We've never moved in together.
You've been together 16 years.
Yeah.
And you are not yet, you're not...
Like to take our time making these decisions. But there's been an evolution not only in a relationship with each other, but with my kids and with my ex-wife. So it's really been all of part of one really long journey about getting to know each other and having this different kind of relationship. And it's interesting and very fulfilling.
Does your ex have somebody else in her life?
Not that I know of at the moment.
Okay.
But she has in the past.
She has in the past. And are those, I mean, we heard Kate say that the new people who get involved in these dramas can sometimes feel threatened by a decent relationship that you may have with your ex. Was that the case with you?
Not really. I never had that sense from, at least from my side. And I think it was more of, it can be a delicate situation. I think it's more the kids who can feel threatened in those situations and also feel protective of one parent or the other. So there's stuff that happens around that. But otherwise, no, I think it was really, I mean, they were actually talking about doing a business project together last year. So it's pretty amicable all around at this point.
Interesting. I'm down to our last minute and a half here, and I want to give it to the author here, Kate, because you've written the book on this, Reconcilable Differences. If people are watching this and going through essentially what you've all gone through many years ago in your past, what's the handy-dandy advice you can offer?
Be calm. Don't be afraid, because we're all terrified too. Be kind, be fair, and be honest with your kids. Be honest with each other. And know that it will change. The things will shift and change. A lot of the families that are in that book their situations have changed over time, sometimes for the worse and then back to the better, sometimes just better. Some remarkable things that people are capable of, and we can all do it. You're just miserable when you're at war with each other. And your kids are miserable. I think Kier's right. The kids are always worried. Is this really going to hold? Are they? And they'll sense it. They get it before you get it when things are going a little bit off the rails.
They are the canaries in the coal mine,
They
aren't
are.
they?
They really are. And I think if people know that and then have faith in their kids in that way, or at least give them credit for what they know, and do what you say you're going to do. Just actually walk the walk.
Excellent. I can't thank all four of you enough for coming in today and sharing deeply personal stories, which I have no doubt will be very helpful to those who are watching this and maybe experiencing it themselves. So thanks to Kier Brownstone for coming in today, and Brandy Weikley, and Kate Cochran, Reconcilable Differences, and Tracy Germa. Good of all of you to visit us at TVO tonight. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Help TVO create a better world through the power of learning. Visit supporttvo.org and make a tax-deductible donation today.